Today, in a new TouchDesigner tutorial, we're going to create shapes with RayTK. So for this tutorial, we're going to create this weird shape. And for that, we need to create this full network using RayTK. And it's important to show what version of RayTK I'm using. This is the 0.31. And depends of the version of TouchDesigner do you have, is what version of RayTK you're going to download. And another thing, because I'm using Windows, and when I press this Alt R, I opens other windows, so I change that to a Shift. Okay. And as always, we're going to select everything and delete. And in this case, I'm going to, just for show how this works, I'm going to create a sphere. Here it is. And then we need, as always, a camera pad, and this would be a render first. Render, very much render. Connect this to here. And then we connect this to a null and change the name to out1. So we can see what's going on, and we need to change the resolution of our render. And for that, we can copy this size from the parent, maybe bind, just, and we change this for the height. So we have a right resolution. So what else? We need to connect to a camera. In this case will be camera, will be this one. Look at. And we can put, see here, we have the camera, we have the light, and we have the shadow. So we connect this to the camera. And with the camera, we have the above angle and other options. But right now it's okay. So as you can see, we have the shape, we have the render, the camera, and we have the output. It's the same as in TouchDesigner. So for our weird shape, we're going to use a different shape, not a sphere. If you go to Shift R in my case, we can see all these weird shapes that we can use. The SDF, all these ones. You can try and see what do you like. In this case, we're going to use Julia. Everything in the this component, and you can see this B, the beta, it's because it's not the full version, so it's okay, use it. I don't have a problem with this, but just to know it's beta. No, it's not the final. So I'm going to select Julia, connect, and the cool thing about Julia is we can move this up this weird shape. I'm going to change maybe the distance of the camera just for see the full shape. Okay, so we have this Julia, and we can put blend this shape with another thing. So this is the cool thing about RayTK, because RayTK is using shaders, and it's an easy way to combine two shapes. For example, if I combine this sphere with Julia, we can go to combine. So we have this one, like the first one with the second, and then connect everything. And I'm going to maybe translate this sphere. And when they combine, we have a simple and a smooth, the round, or maybe chamber. I always use the stair because we can create different like labels. No, sorry, layers, or maybe columns. And maybe we can move this one. And the cool about the columns or there is the offset. We can animate this like ABS time that second multiply 0.2 and create this weird thing. So yeah, so if knowing this is okay, we can maybe animate this Julia shape. And for that, I'm going to delete this. First, I'm going to connect this one to here. So we can use a noise fill. And then we're going to use a bend. I'm going to connect the first one, the second one, this one. So we had the Julia a combine of bend with this noise. And the cool thing about the noise is we can animate this. And we have this weird animation. In this case, I'm going to use ABS time, that seconds, multiply 0.2, copy just in case, and use it maybe in that 3 directions. Maybe just maybe will be 3D, maybe an X, so go up. We can change the amplitude, see what's happened. Sometimes we have this weird noise, so be careful with that. So maybe something like that. And we can set up again Julia with something like, I'm going to use the same as the example, 0.2. You can play all the time with this. You can animate this, so this is cool. So you can see it's moving. But the only one that you can animate is iterations, because if I move, nothing happened and you need to move. And it's working. So sometimes these take time. So if you put more iteration, you have more lines, it's like more details. In this case, we're going to use just 4. This is okay. Maybe just 1. This will be 16. Sorry, dot 16. Okay. So we have this shape. Okay. And then we continue adding more effects. I like a lot use round. It's like creating took the shape and create maybe a smooth thing. We can figure it out what we liked or not. Maybe like that. Maybe less. Maybe that. And after that, I'm going to add a transform, because I want to rotate this shape. As always, ABS time, that's seconds, multiply, that's maybe -5. Okay, so we have that. We can scale this if you want. Maybe yes, something like that. And again, we continue using this example of combine shapes. And I'm going to create a sphere. And here is a sphere. Always we're going to connect to a transform. And then we need to combine. Connect the first one to the second, and then connect to here. Nothing happened because right now it's a union and the sphere maybe not too big. It's inside. So yeah, we have that. This is cool too because we have like with this how to say this, let me see, in Spanish will be relieve, like maybe it translates like embossing, something like that, but this texture over this, so we can continue and explore what happened with the other. This is intersection, so it's go under different. So this is cool. Like we create a shape and inside is empty. So yeah, you can play with this a lot because you can have different result. So in my case with RayTK, I prefer something simple and maybe 2 or 3 shapes and combine and see what happened. And I put a few materials. Not all. It's always not so complicated. It's an easy way. So you can explore because you can see you have a lot of option with this component. But in this case, I want to a smooth different. Okay, so don't worry. We need to change a few things. I want to small. But what we're going to do is I want to create a hole inside of this, but just in the center. So what I'm going to do is change the scale, create separate, and change the X. So we have a hole in the shape. And we can and maybe see what the radio, the smoothness of the shape. So maybe something like that. And as always, you can play, maybe change, and maybe the scale or not of this. So in my case was, okay, we have a principal or main shape, then we have a second who create a hole of this, and then we need to create something inside of this shape. Okay. And in this case, I thought maybe put or insert a shape that is not too round or smooth, like a sphere or Julia. Maybe will be a triangle or something else. And I'm going to move this a little bit. Give me a second. Yeah, that is better. And I'm going to go to the SDF. What is here? So you have a lot of options. In my case, I use this one, tetrahedron SDF. So I connect this, as always, a transform because maybe we want to change the scale or position. And then we create again a combine. Here this one to the second one, and then connect this to here. So yeah, we have this. Don't worry, we need to change a few things. The first one will be, maybe needs to be smaller. Yeah, I'm going to create, yes, bigger. And then maybe change again the scale, just in case. So we can create like, yes, inside. And with the combine, maybe a simple union was maybe smooth because, yeah. And the cool thing, we can move this and create this smooth holes inside. Maybe change the scale a little bit. And the cool thing is we can rotate this. Okay. And again, I'm going to use animate this, and will be ABS time. Sorry, there. It's time that seconds multiply maybe -9. Going to copy and paste and change maybe noise 5, 9 maybe 5, and then again just this one. Or we can check what happens is faster. Yeah, something like that. So we have that. And in this case, I thought maybe what happened if we add a round in this shape. So yeah, something like that maybe. Yeah, so we could create this smoothness there. So we have the shape. That is cool. And we continue with the material. With the material, right now we have the default material. We need to create a modular, this one, modular mat. And we can put a lot of different materials. Okay, we connect this one to this one. So right now it's nothing. I'm going to use go to materials so you can see maybe with a basic. Maybe this not. Give me a second for check. Delete. Yeah, sometimes I have problem with this. I don't know why with the modular. Let me check just in case that if everything is okay. Maybe diffuse. Yeah, there it is. If something happened, maybe the RayTK had it's not a final product and always is growing. So always we can see a book with this. So it's okay. We can add a light. We have spotlight maybe, and we can the light's the third one. Maybe change the position to 5. Yeah. 10. Yeah. So we have the diffuse material. You have a lot different options. You have the tone. For right now, we're going to use the iridescent. Or you can, just in case, you can combine different material. Maybe the gouache shading with the diffuse. So yeah, you have this. And check what happened. Yeah, you can play with this. For me, it's a lot of materials and try it, see what happened. And I'm going to delete this and connect to this one. This one I like. Okay, delete this one. And for the this material, you can play with the level, like the brightness of the material. You have the face. So the goal with the face, everything is face. You can animate this, or just maybe select maybe these colors, this position when it's pink or green here. And the period is, I'm going to move and you can see what's going on. We put too much. So we can see a balance, maybe 7. And I'm going to animate this. Before that, we can move this and see what happened. What happened if we move this? You can see how the color is applying to the shape. Going to back to the default, and with the face I'm going to animate this ABS time 10 seconds. Always multiply that 0.1. So it's going to follow in a loop, an infinite animation changing the color. And after that, with the iridescent, I don't know how to say in English, but we can delete the light. We don't need it. And I'm going to give me a second just for move all this. We have the camera, we have our object. I'm going to connect this to a null because we have the base of the shape. Now we're going to add glow, blur, all that details that I liked. And for that, we're going to do it in a different way for the blur. The cool thing about RayTK, we have this, a lot of output, color, depth, SDF. So in this case, I'm going to use the depth out. For that, we're going to use depth, this one. So we have this. I'm going to move, connect to depth. And we can see this, adding a null, and we have this. So we can change a bit of the numbers. Maybe, let me see. Maybe the gamma will be 0. Finding a maybe balance, something like that. Maybe less, some more. Yeah, maybe something like that. And we can connect this again. I'm going to add a null. And this will be connected to a Luma blur. Let's see, here it is. Connect here. Change this to here. Let me see if everything is okay. Yeah, it's okay. Maybe we can add more. So we create blur in these areas. So no blur. So sometimes like a smoothness, a weird effect. So for example, these lines is too noisy, but with the blur, smooth. Yeah, something like that. And as always, we can connect a level just for see the color, or change the maybe brightness, more or less, maybe less, more contrast. And I always love to add this one because sometimes I want to change the color or not. Or I can add a little bit of saturation. Yeah, maybe 1.2. And we can add glow. And for that, I'm going to use one of the tools I shared before. Glow, I can show you, but it's okay. I can connect this. So we have our shape with glow. And for this, we have our shape. We delete the black, everything. We put an alpha. We create 4 blurs with different information, 1 to 10, 2 to 20, 4 to 40, and 8. Oh, what this is 80. So we create this, we connect to a screen, and we have a level just in case, and we create connect everything with the screen. So we have our blur, and we can change this, maybe, yeah, something like that. And after that, I want to add maybe a little bit of details. And as always, we can create a edge. And the edge will be you have the lines. So we can put more details if you want or not. We can change the color, but right now maybe what is okay. Create a level and connect everything to a composition. Composite, sorry, no composition, composite. Connect this to, I like this to a level, sorry, a screen. And we go to the level and go to this, and we can change the color. I always go to this and move forward. In this case, maybe something like that. Change the level. And maybe sometimes it's too much. You can always add a blur. Maybe we can create like a light, because this is a line. Maybe this is like a light glowing around of the shape. And we can always change the color. What do you like more? Yeah, I like this. I'm going to change, maybe not too much, like a detail. And that's it. It's a simple shape. But we can play with this and see what happens if we move this. Maybe this too much. Oh yeah, something like that. And always I prefer you go to put the transform to the final, put a new one effect here. You have the twist that I use a lot of the time, and see what happens. Always when you connect this to a new box, the computer need to think, so be careful with that. So you have this. I always put maybe 5, and yeah, we have this smoothness. And the cool thing with the twist, yes, we can animate this ABS time. That seconds multiply 0.2. Yeah. So we have this. Maybe this is too much. Or what happens if we put 50? Yeah, this is too much. 15. Yeah, maybe it's too much too. 10, move too much. But it's okay. And again, we can create again a twist, because right now we are in this axis. And we connect this one to this, and maybe to Y. So create this weird shape. But always we have this problem. It's like breaking the shape, so be careful. Just enable this thing. We can play with this combine, because this is the sphere. What happens if we put columns? Yeah, we create these layers, and maybe we'll be big, maybe something like that. So yeah, you can play with this all day. I'm going to put this bigger maybe, so we can have the first one shape, the second one, and the third one. I like this more than the example that I showed to you. And I'm going to maybe, yeah. Or you can play with other shapes with the CDF. Let me check. Material. Yeah. So we have a bunny here. You can put that there. Yeah, you can play with all of the shapes. And if you want to play more with this, and the cool thing about RayTK is shader. So this is the extra. I'm going to just save this. And the saves always take a little bit of time. And for important thing for the user who is using Mac, be careful with RayTK because maybe it's for the GPU, all this stuff. I testing with my Mac and doesn't work very well. So be careful. Always connected with power supply and maybe not a big resolution, and always maybe 24 frame by second is better. But right now I can use this in my Windows. It's okay. And just be careful, just in case. And we can. I was create. I think the name is iterations. Give me for remember this name, so you can. We can use model. Maybe we have model 2D, and let me see if I can check another one that you can play around. Have this one. So what happened with this? For example, with the octant, we connect this to this. So yeah, we can create these weirdness things, change the axis, or we can maybe animate this. Maintain 10 seconds, smooth placer that one, maybe faster, 2, 10. 50. Always, yeah, maybe 50 is better. So yeah, this change this, maybe change the how this is duplicated in this axis. Wow, I like this. Too blur, but if it's too blur, always we can change this the depth map, or we can change this. Just cool. And the other, I'm going to disable this, connect to model 2D. Maybe it's very similar, but it's different. So it's duplicating just an X and Y. We can change the offset. Oh, it was too much, sorry. This depends what we want to see. The shift, again, it's moving. So you can animate this all day. So yeah, you have, what else? Type mirror. Ooh, nice. Iterations, quadrant cells, yeah. So a lot of options that I know I don't know anything too much, but yeah, you can play with this. And as I told you, we can maybe animate this and this to the infinite. But I remember was another with iterated. Maybe this one it is. Oh yeah, I like this. Okay, I'm going to save this. I'm going to use it later. We have our shape. Connect this one to this one. Yes, it's this one. You can slide 4 times. It's the same shape. Duplicate it. We can translate so you can see what is going on. Oh, cool. So yeah, the cool thing about RayTK is this is an easy way to combine shapes. We have maybe 10. It's the same, but we were going to put 4. You can change the scale. So you have that. You can rotate this. 15, something like that. And the cool thing with a number, a random number like 15, we have this like open egg. I don't know. I see an egg here. What have I even put? No, this not. Yeah. Can change this. What happens if I turn on the octane? Maybe. Wow. So yeah, you can play this a lot for hours. Figure it out. What result do you have? Yeah, this is crazy. I'm going to disable all of this. And you have with a simple shape, with three shapes in this case, with a Julia, then a sphere, and then this tetra, or whatever is a triangle, or this shape. We can create this with a lot of combine, and then when you have that specific shape, you can create this a mirror octant model to the, you have the 3D and this iterated transform, and after that you have just detail for color, glow, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope you like it, and if you have any question, just send me a message. I'll try to answer, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye.